November 12th, 2024. A knock echoes at the door. A woman opens it. Her heart races. For decades, she lived under another name, raising a child who never knew the truth. Now detectives stand in front of her, asking questions she can't ignore. Stay with me, because what happens next will reveal decades of secrets and a life built on lies. This story begins not in an interrogation room, but in a custody battle that never made headlines, but quietly destroyed a family. Deborah Newton allegedly vanished with her toddler daughter, ignoring custody orders, and disappeared without a trace. Neighbors, friends, and relatives had no idea she was gone. Therefore, the authorities had nothing to follow for years. For decades, the trail went cold. No hospital records, no social security activity, no fingerprints in any database. It seemed like she had evaporated. But the absence of evidence didn't mean the story was over. Every unreturned call, every unanswered question, built a wall of mystery around her life. But she didn't hide in shadows. She lived openly under a new name, built a life, and raised her daughter in plain sight. She worked, she paid bills, she became someone else entirely, and for years it seemed no one could touch her past. Friends described her as quiet, reliable, almost ordinary. Therefore, no one suspected the secret she carried. Time, however, is patient. Modern investigation tools are relentless. Old records and new databases slowly began to connect dots. Therefore, a life once thought hidden began to crumble. Subtle inconsistencies in records, unexplained gaps in her history, and digital footprints that couldn't be erased started to paint a different picture. When authorities finally located her in Florida, they didn't storm the house or chase her down. They came quietly. Her arrest for custodial interference marked the end of decades of secrecy, but it also opened a window into a life few could imagine. The interrogation was not dramatic, but tense. Detectives didn't rush her. They watched her posture shift. They listened to every hesitation, and slowly the mask began to slip. When confronted with evidence of her true identity, she hesitated, then admitted it, her voice soft, her eyes wet with decades of unspoken fear and guilt. During the questioning, she revealed small details of her new life: jobs she held, friends she made, routines she followed to stay normal. But every answer was weighed against a single truth she couldn't undo. The daughter she had taken was now a grown woman, with her own questions and a lifetime of lost memories. And then came the phone call. Mother to daughter. The voice of a woman who thought she had protected. Her child now met the voice of a grown woman who had lived in a carefully constructed reality. It was quiet, fragile, and devastating. That single call carried decades of silence, love, regret, and fear. Therefore, it became more than just a legal case. It became a human story of lost time and impossible choices. This case isn't just about crime. It's about identity, time, and the cost of erasing someone's past. Most coverage frames it as kidnapping versus motherhood, but the real story is about the human consequences of living a lie for decades. Deborah Newton didn't just disappear. She rewrote reality for herself and her daughter. Therefore, the impact of her choices rippled far beyond any court charge. Imagine learning your childhood was built on a lie. Would you forgive or walk away? Comment below. I read them all. If you want another shocking story, check out Baby Dies in Her Daycare on my channel. This case will stay with you long after the video ends.